Hello, this is the daily Reddit coming at you. We're doing a subreddit r/vaxxhappened. Now let's go. I would never vaccinate my kids. That is unnatural, dangerous, pointless, expensive, reckless and harmful. I take my kids to the doctor so they can vaccinate them instead. A nice little mockery of anti-vaxxers. So obviously you wouldn't do it yourself, and they kind of gave a little twist. Things anti-vaxxers say. So my ex and I just got into a fight because my 4-year-old had his wellness check and they want to administer 3 shots. I said no. They said yes, and required to have them in school, which he is in school. Well, thank you for explaining. And now I'm stuck. The doctor literally told me to stay off Google. Can you guys please help me let them know why it's a bad idea? If your research is just on Google, it's not enough for to become anti-vax. Come on. Hey guys, I need some advice fast on how to remove the vaccines for a baby. Baby is having seizures from shots. Pray in the name of Jesus against spirits of seizure and the spirit of death. Bind them in the name of Jesus. Command them to leave. Speak resurrection, life over the baby. Hopefully they didn't take this advice, but they are dumb enough to probably do that. 10 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama asked the mom group, and the mom group said, "Have you tried essential oils? I hear hyperactivity is a vaccine injury. I'm calling CPS." Probably my favourite poem of the day. I went out shopping with my 2 children, both unvaccinated, and I overheard a conversation between 2 couples about how foolish anti-vaxxers are. I immediately turned around and joined in by informing them that vaccines are proven to cause autism, cancer, and increase the risk of homosexuality, and they need to understand what the big pharma companies want: money. They didn't decide or listen, and eventually grew aggressive, and they threatened to call security if I didn't leave them alone. My son, who is only 2 by the way, never vaccinated, and he's proud, walked up and said if they want to die, let the government kill them. It's survival of the fittest after all. They were both silent and had nothing to say. I turned around and saw an old woman observing. She looked at me and just said, "You've raised him well. My husband died of cancer brought on by vaccinations," and she smiled. I smiled back and walked off. I've never been so proud of my boy. This is a pure vaxxhappened thing. It's so fake, it is so funny. Germ theory, vaccinate the fish. Terrain theory, clean the tank. I love when science can tell us how a mummy died 10,000 years ago, but when thousands of babies die in their sleep 48 hours after vaccines, it's a sudden, unexplainable death. Love science. What the hell are you doing, Pooh? That's not honey. You're consuming government propaganda. Fluoride is good for you. Office fires collapse steel buildings. Let's get vaccinated. Love a bit of Winnie the Pooh. When your mom didn't get vaccinated and you catch polio at a young age, but at least you are not autistic. Gotta love SpongeBob. Think about when you accidentally put aluminum foil in a microwave. Next, think about aluminum on the brain via vaccines. Now consider 5G Wi-Fi. Back to aluminum foil in the microwave. Smell anything fishy. It's just brains on fire. Think about it. Well, you've used about 8 emojis in your message, so it must be true. Autism is a genetic disability. Yes. And a genetic disability is decided well before birth while your genetic code is being constructed. Yup. And a child does not typically receive their first vaccine until they are around a year old. Therefore, their genetic code cannot be influenced by the vaccine. That makes sense to me. Therefore, vaccines cannot possibly cause autism. Vaccines are causing autism. That is how they think. A woman accused my unvaxxed children of spreading measles and polio and killing other kids, even though they don't have any of these diseases. My solution? I called her husband and told him he needs to be tested for gonorrhea because his wife may have given it to him. He calls her, flips out, accuses her of cheating. She repeatedly says, I didn't give you gonorrhea, I don't have gonorrhea, how could I possibly give you gonorrhea if I don't have it? Checkmate. Wow, you are a genius. Your tears say more than real evidence ever could. This is so true in so many cases. Tears do not mean truth. Lack of tears do not mean lies. Child dies of vaccinated disease. Anti-vax parents. What can I say except you are welcome? Anti-vax parents are the worst. They are killing kids. My unvaxxed toddler and I have whooping cough. I feel so guilty. Like, could I have prevented this with a vaccine? I feel like a terrible mother. The answer to that is yes, you could have prevented it with a vaccine. Be better. Forced penetration, really no big deal. If it's just a vaccination needle and he's a doctor, do you really need control over your own choices? Yeah, you do. I was court ordered to vaccinate my son because his father was pushed to that point. I presented everything I could come up with as evidence for why I do not believe vaccines are in his best interest, and a judge sided with my husband. I am devastated and heartbroken and so scared that I'm doing this will cause him to never be the same again or worse. However, if I don't do this, the judge made it very clear that he will give primary custody and sole managing conservatorship to my ex-husband, and then he will get him vaccinated all the way. I'm going to do single dose shots and detox, though I'm not really sure how to detox, but does anyone have any other suggestions? I'm in tears as I write this because I'm so terrified of these shots. My little boy is 4 years old now, so healthy and hardly ever sick. I'm broken. Any help because I need it. I feel like this post is definitely real. And I think the judge didn't side with the ex-husband because he's the ex-husband, but because of science on their side. Just because a boy is not sick does not mean he will not become very sick. Important message. Please be advised, as of 2018, we as an office have made the decision to not accept new patients who refuse vaccinations for non-medical reasons. Thank you. It's a good move. You don't want people who are not vaccinated spreading diseases to other people, especially the elderly and other young babies who cannot yet be vaccinated as they are too young. Exactly. That's why vaxxers always say, I was vaccinated and I'm fine. And all of us who have actually looked into the vaccines laugh and laugh. By looked into, I assume you are a doctor with PhD in immunology and you have a lab where you research. Or are you the couch and half an hour of Googling things I agree with is research type? It's just like an Ellie Bravo type thing, you know. You don't kind of, whilst you don't have to be a doctor to know this stuff, you should probably stick with the doctor's side. I didn't vaccinate my kids, and the one who lived turned out fine. Now this is probably a fake post. It's like a funny post, like The Onion, and good. Their first injection was a vaccination. Protect your children from vaccinations. Vaccinations leave a lasting psychological belief that injecting is beneficial. Studies have shown that children who are vaccinated are 85% more likely to inject heroin than those who are not. But that's probably only because the vaccinated children are the ones that survive into adulthood when they're more likely to do drugs. that is it for the Daily Reddit today. Please do come back for more.